Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting video. I have been using this camera that I am on now for over a year. So July 17th of last year, I posted my unboxing video of my Nikon Z30. And it has been a wild ride. I have loved this camera. I wanted to talk today about some of my updated pros, cons, would I still buy it a year later? I also have an awesome update as I'm going to be making some improvements to this camera. So stick around so you can see what that is. Alright, so for the pros of this camera, I love that there is very little I have to do in post-edit for my videos. I can shoot and basically add it to a video, and yes, I have to make cuts because of editing out different things, but there is no like color correction or different things like that that I'm having to do post-edit because this camera is that good. The lighting detection is great. I can film in low lighting situations and cloudy situations. I can do a lot of that with the camera and not have to worry about doing a lot of work in the editing phase of my videos, which makes editing a lot faster. I love that it is relatively lightweight. It is not the lightest weight. It is still a decently sized camera, but for the quality that it puts out, I am very happy with the weight that it has, and the fact that I can put a microphone on top of it. I can adapt situations, I can change lenses, because that was something that was important to me, was being able to adapt and change lenses as I wanted to and as I grew. And then I also enjoy having the flip front screen because it's important so that I can know that I'm lining up my shot every single time. Okay, so I can't wait anymore. Let's upgrade this camera. So I still have my kit lens on this camera, which is a 16 to 50 millimeter lens. And they recently came out with a wide angle lens, and so I bought it because that just sounded really nice. And to be able to capture a lot more area and things like that, especially since I'm wanting to increase my vlogging and just updating the production quality of my videos. So let's see how that looks. Does that make a difference? Whoa, I didn't realize you could see all of this. Goodness, let's adjust. Wow, there's a whole lot more you can see. So this is my new lens. It looks a lot different, it's a lot bigger, and I love it so far. I can't wait to see what it looks like in post-production. But it was a $350 upgrade, and I know that's not very cheap, but lenses really determine the quality of your video, and the kit lens is great. It is a great starter point. I didn't even have to upgrade, but I'm just wanting to just take another step forward with my channel. So I'm upgrading some of my equipment and adding some pieces that I've been wanting for a while. And so you'll see some videos coming out pretty soon where I'm talking more about that. I'm adding some mics. I got a GoPro. I got a gimbal. So it should be fun to see kind of how these things play in, and I'll be reviewing those along the way. But now let's get back to my cons. like I was saying a minute ago with the pros, it's not exactly a small camera. And when we were at the parks, I really felt that because I didn't feel like I could bring my camera comfortably to the parks and feel like I could film because I didn't have really anywhere to put it, and I didn't want to have to carry it all day long. After a little bit of carrying it at Disney Springs, it felt very heavy and different things like that, and it's not easy to just find a bag to put that in where it just doesn't look really bulky, and I didn't want to carry a backpack. So that's kind of the downside for me. Another con is that when it's above about 80 degrees outside, the camera overheats, and that is something that I can't avoid. There were several times at Gatorland and even Disney Springs where in the middle of recording it would just stop recording to cool down because it was overheating. So it's just something to kind of keep in mind that these cameras do that, and especially when you're filming in a higher quality. So I just had to take a pause for a second, turn off my camera, let it cool down, make sure the screen was open so that there was a lot of air to the back, and then once it was ready to go, filmed as much as I could and then repeat the process. But it is a minor concern because for me, up in the Midwest, we only have summer for part of the year, so it's not too big of a deal for me, but for some people I know it could be a concern, especially if you like to film outside or in hot situations. And then another downside for me is that the remote doesn't want to stay paired very easily. So when the camera times out, the remote shuts off, and it's just a repairing situation, and it gets frustrating after a little bit, especially when I've got my camera set up across the room and I'm trying to film like a cooking video is the biggest culprit of this. Trying to start and stop and do different things, and then it'll time out, and then the remote will unpair, and it's this whole big ordeal. So that's a little bit frustrating, but it's part of the game, I think, and I just kind of work around it and make sure I touch my camera or activate my camera every so often so that it stays active and lit up so that it doesn't unpair. Now, would I buy this again? Maybe. I would probably buy it again just because of the ease of post-production, but as a brand new YouTuber, I may not. I actually may go for something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to carry around, and is a little bit more user-friendly for me, especially since I'm a little bit newer to cameras and setting them up and understanding shot angles and just different things like that. But overall, I would probably actually buy it again where I'm at now, just because I've learned so much. There's some great videos out on YouTube now that really walk you through settings and different options and upgrades like this lens. I'm excited because I got some wireless lapel mics, and so that I can walk a little bit further away from my camera when I'm doing different projects, things like that, and see just how much I can step up my production quality with the camera. And I'm excited that I still have room to grow with this camera that I don't think I could have if I would have purchased a different, simpler camera. Now, some of my tips. A big one is when you purchase a camera, especially with lenses that are changeable and things like that, always, always, always purchase a filter that fits that lens, because of the fact that you would rather replace a $11, $18 filter than a $300 lens. because things happen. I know for me, I do some DIY projects and I don't want sawdust in my lens. I don't want my lens scratched. And things can happen. You don't want to risk that. So before I even put this lens on the camera just now, I have a filter on it just so that it's protected. It's one of the first things I did. It's a cheap and easy protection plan. Another tip that I have for this camera is to buy a extra set of batteries and external charger. So this camera, like I've said in my other review videos, only comes with a cord to charge it when it's connected to a computer, or I connect it to my docking station. It's finicky on the charge. And so that gets a little bit frustrating because there's been times where I thought it was charging and then it didn't charge and I run out of battery, and I'm frustrated and trying to figure out how to get enough of a charge to keep going, and I can't just plug in and record because I'm outside or doing projects. So I purchased an external charger that came with 2 batteries that work this camera, and that has been fantastic because I can always have batteries charged. They charge on an external wall plug charger, and then I can just rotate them out as I need. So if I want to batch film one day and just film back to back to back, I can, because I can just rotate through batteries and not feel like I'm running out of battery power or that I need to stop long enough to plug in, because I get about 45 minutes to an hour of recording time at my current settings and the quality that I want to record at. Another tip is always use a external microphone. So right now I have the Rode Video Micro on top of my camera. Like I was talking about, I purchased little lapel mics so that when Tommy is on video with me, I'll be able to have him mic'd as well. Or if we're walking away from the camera or a little bit further away from the camera, the sound quality is a little bit better. The camera picks up pretty good sound quality by itself, but that added microphone makes the quality just that much better. And they're really not that expensive, so they're worth a purchase by themselves, even if you don't get the creator's kit that you can purchase with this particular camera. The Rode Video Micro can be purchased on Amazon for a really great price. So it's worth the investment to upgrade that sound quality right away, because people notice when there's sound issues in your videos. I've gotten comments several times for people with sound issues. If my music's too loud and I don't realize it, people will comment and notice. So pay attention to your sound, pay attention to your video quality. Those are some big things that people really pay attention to. And this camera makes those things really easy to manage well and have a great product come out of. But that is all I have for you today. I am looking forward to the next several videos. Like I said, we've got some product reviews coming up, updates on carnivore. We are going on a road trip for Kaylin's baseball tournament. So just lots of things coming your way. I can't wait to see you in our next one. But until then, bye for now.